Hi team, session 24, the yum command in Linux. This is Linux Essential Series. The agenda of the session is dependency and yum command, dependency hell, basic yum configuration, yum.conf directives, configuration files in etc yum.repos.d, custom configuration file, create a yum repo from DVD, cleanup, third-party repositories, basic yum commands, installation mode, installation update with yum, security and yum, update and security fixes, package groups and yum, and removing the group. This is what you are going to learn in this session. Dependencies and the yum command. The yum command make it easy to add and remove software packages. It maintains a database regarding the proper way to add, upgrade and remove packages. This overcomes what is known as dependency hell. The name yum is based on the yellow dog updater modified. The configuration of yum depends on the package libraries known as repositories, as I explained in the previous lecture. Reddit repositories are available through the Reddit portal, while the repositories of third-party rebuilt distributions use their own publicly available servers. What is this dependency hell? Quite simple. Mount the DVD, try to install a package, and if you find the package is dependent on some other package, you have to install that package first. So try to include the missing dependencies in the list of packages to be installed. When you try this, it will lead to more dependencies, and they may even more level of dependent packages. It's like something like this. If you want to understand, I want to install this package A. Alright. Now this is the package A. I want to install. Now after that, I want to install another package. I found that okay, this package A is dependent on package B. So I may, I can say that this package is dependent on package B and maybe dependent on package C also. So it will not allow you to install package A unless you install package B. Right? So package B is dependent, A is dependent on package B. Similarly, we continue this. We have another package A is dependent on package C also. So I am writing the package C. Now when you, which means you will not be able to install package A unless you install package B and package C. So when you try to install package C, in order to resolve this dependency, it may end up leading to more dependencies here. So that means first you have to install this package and then this package, then only you will be able to install C. And again, when you start trying to install this package, it may end up depending on more packages. So that tree goes on increasing, and there are more levels of dependencies, and this is called the dependency hell. I remember my days to install one package, I end up installing around 120-150 packages, because one package is dependent on another, and that other package is dependent on some other packages, and we end up installing 200-300 packages to install, and we would spend our entire day in installing packages. That was the day. But now the yum command that is for that purpose. The pain is known as dependency hell. The yum command relieve you from that pain. Red Hat incorporated yum starting with RHEL 5. The yum uses subscribed Red Hat portal channels and any other repository configured into etc yum.repos.d. So whenever you install yum, install gcc xml2 elf utils development, bin utils development, which means it will check all the dependencies and it will install all the dependencies. Alright, let's just try to verify the etc yum.repos.d directory, the files in that, and install packages. Let's try this. So if we go to the directory /etc/yum.repos.d, you see there are a lot of repositories here. These repositories are from various sources. That means I might have subscribed to these repositories. For example, apel.repo, remi.repo, then CENTOS source, CENTOS media. This is CENTOS base. Let's take a look at one repository, CENTOS base.repo. Please note all the files end up with a .repo in this directory. And this is a comment, and look at the repository. This is the configuration lines for a repository. Hash means comment. So if you look at base name, mirror list, base URL, GPG check, GPG key. If you recollect, I told you the key file name, key is located at etc pki rpm gpg under this directory. In the previous session, I explained that concept of GPG key and why the GPG keys are required. So this is the GPG key for this repository. This is another update repository. This is another repository. In one file, you have multiple repositories configured, or multiple repositories. That's the right word. Repositories are configured. So this is the way. Important lines are name, the base URL or the mirror list, the GPG check, and the key file. Of course, there is one line, enabled is equal to 1 or enabled is equal to 0. Enabled is equal to 0 means the repository is not enabled. For example, this repository CENTOS plus is not enabled, because if you see enabled is equal to 0 is written in this file. Enabled is equal to 0. So this is how the repositories are configured. You can look at any other repository also from this file. The default settings are controlled by this file etc yum.conf. Default are controlled from this file, like cache directory, where the cache will be created. Cache means after release, when you install a package, you have to have a temporary directory where it will download the packages, where it will keep the downloaded packages till the time they are installed, or the database of the repository, because if the repositories are live, it will download the list of packages and the database files which I demonstrated in the previous session, the XML format files. So the cache directory where it will download and keep the cache, keep the files, keep cache, for how long it has to keep the cache. Debug level is for problem solving, and it is for you, where the log file is, where the logs will be stored, where log yum.log. Exact architecture is means that whether you want exact architecture to be matched or not. Obsolete packages are to be installed or to be allowed or not. GPG check by default is yes. Plugins, enabled plugins, install only limit means by default when you install multiple packages, or when you use wildcard, how many packages will be installed in parallel. So this 5 means 5 packages will be installed in parallel if you give that wildcard. So these are the settings, base settings. If you look at that, and we never touch these settings, by the way. I have never updated and never changed these settings. Now if you see what all repositories we have, you can use the command yum repo list. It will give you the list of repositories, yum repo list. Okay, one second, this might be one, but I also have forget. It's not that I cannot forget, I can also forget, but there is no space required. And this is the list of repositories. This is calling from the all the files, repo files which I showed you. So these are the repositories which are configured. And then if you want to list all the packages, you can use yum list all. This will list all the packages installed, right? Yum list all. So therefore it will list all the packages and from which repository they are installed. Even the repositories, like if you press Ctrl C and you verify that exactly from where it is installed. Yum list all, and then you can use grep. Yum list all grep any package httpd, for example. So it will give the list of the name of the package, the repository from where it is installed, provided by which repository provide this package. So this way you can query with yum command. Similarly, yum what provides /bin /passwd. This is the same command as we did in the previous RPM command -qf. The same concept here is yum what provides. So it will give you more detailed, comprehensive detail, like this is the name of the RPM, and this RPM is about this purpose, and the repository is base, and this is the directory or the file which provides this file. Similarly, you can give the file same exactly the qf command of RPM I'm using with yum. So /var /lib /mysql. So this will tell you what package provide this directory or create this directory. So this is basically the purpose is same. What provides is same as qf, right? And the best part of RPM yum command is the relief from the dependency hell. We will see that. Let it update, because if we have a time for cache refresh. So if the time has elapsed, there is a cron job running at the back end. It will refresh the cache, download the latest database from the repository, and it is doing just that, if you notice that. I have not given this command. It is downloaded, updating the repository from the live URL from the main server to the local cache. It is actually updating the cache, and because there is a lifetime of the cache which was mentioned in yum.conf file. Once it is finished, you will see. In the meanwhile, let's take a look at the other things. So if you have any RPM, let me see if I have some file ls/data. Nothing is there in this. I want to install a package and I want to show you the concept of dependency help. Let me include a DVD. So this is the DVD I have. So these are the packages here, and I open this file to show you the concept of dependencies. Open in terminal so that you know where you are. So here if I try RPM -ivh and let's say XML star, definitely I will not be able to install. Why? Because it shows the dependencies. So you see it is dependent on this package. So if I try to install RPM -ivh and this package, alright, and I try to install package, this may end up this is another second level of dependency. Now it shows that this is required. Now if I try to install this package sgml, and it may, now finally this is being installed. So at the third level I am able to install the package. Now I have to go back and install the previous package, and now if I try to install package, it does not mean that I will be able to install, because there's only one dependency is resolved right on the top. If you see here, this was my first command. This was required, the 3 packages are required. This one, when I tried, it was dependent on this another package. When I installed it, so then 2 more dependencies are left. So similarly, we may have another level of dependency. Now same process, if you try with yum, how easy it becomes, you see that. Now this is my old command which I said. I tried what provide where lib mysql. These are the various RPMs or various packages which provide this RPM. Alright. So let's install the same thing, XML yum install XML star. So it will help us in resolving the dependencies. It will build the tree, dependency tree for installation, and then it will show you all the packages and the corresponding dependencies to be installed, and then finally it will install them. So, and look at the dependencies. Look at how many files. My goodness, had we tried that manually, see what would have happened. Look at this, 40 packages and 237 dependencies packages. How could we even think of installing these packages manually? And that's what the beauty of RPM, that's what the feature of yum command is. Yum help in resolving the dependencies. It will install all the dependent packages and the package you tried to install. So this is when you say yes, it will install the package. Now let's come back. We have understood the basic configuration file. We have understood how it helps us in resolving the dependency. So this way you install the packages. Yum install package name. Relief from dependency hell depends on the proper configuration of yum, of course. It starts with the yum.conf file which I showed to you, and the files with in the directory etc yum.repos.d. To get full list of yum configuration directives and their current values, you can use yum config manager. This command requires the installation of a yum utils package. If it is not installed, you can install this package. The yum.conf, I have already explained this. Main directives of this: cache directory, keep cache, debug level, exact architecture. I already explained the directives of this yum.conf file. GPG check, plugins directory, install only, how many packages can be installed at the same time. That is the important point which I said. Parallelism means at any point in time when you give multiple packages to be installed, how many packages in parallel will go for the installation, and metadata expire. So this is the yum.conf file. You never get into this file unless it is absolutely necessary and you know what you are doing. I have never made any changes into this file. So, but for knowledge, it is good to have the knowledge of this file, yum.conf under etc. The file in etc yum.repos.d we have already discussed. I have shown you a lot of files were there. For a rebuild distribution, file in etc yum.repos.d directory may connect to the local system or remote repositories. We noticed that our repositories were remote repositories. To create a local configuration file, you will need a file with extension .repo. All you need is 3-4 lines, and you can refer to the commands at the bottom of etc yum.conf file for that purpose, because that sample configuration is there, and minimum is only 3 lines. That is sufficient to get a bare minimum repository configured. The section name, the mandatory section name, the name of the repository, descriptive name, and then the URL where the repository is located. So GPG check and GPG key is not mandatory, however it is advisable and you should use that. Only these 3 lines are required to create a local.repo file. And then once the file is created, you simply use yum clean all. It will clean the cache and then rebuild the cache with yum make cache. And then you try installing the package yum install and the package name. Of course, the same process as we have discussed, quite simple. We have been doing it throughout the training, installing packages. Creating a repo file from the DVD content. This is interesting. How to create a repository from the DVD? Like I want to copy all the RPMs from the DVD, and I want to create my own repository. Process is simple. First, you download the DVD, mount the DVD or the ISO, download the ISO, mount it somewhere wherever you want, like mount dev cd-rom/mnt. By default it is already mounted. You see that it is already mounted in our case, because with the moment we inserted the DVD contents were available to us. Important point is you should have to make the content available. Copy the files to a directory of your choice, mkdir-p, opt repos RHEL7. So this is how you are copying the content of the DVD, and then you are copying hidden files also, -a/mnt to opt repos.rhl7. This is the location where you want to create the repository. This is the location where you want to keep the RPMs. So this is your local directory where you will keep all the RPMs. So make a directory, copy the files from MNT folder, means from the DVD. Let's do this. Let's create it, and that makes sense, and that will help us. So what I'm doing is, so this is RPM folder PWD. I'm working under the mounted folder where my directory is mounted, where my DVD is mounted. So my contents of the DVD are here. So what do you need to do? Let me first verify I have enough space or not. df-h. So do I have enough space? I have 7.5 GB, that's sufficient. So let's copy cp-a / from this directory. I want to copy everything to let's say mkdi data directory /data. Alright, choice is yours wherever you want to copy. So I'm copying cp-a, means even the hidden files, / that means of the current directory where I want to copy them under /data directory. So it will copy all the files. So this is the path of the where I'm going to copy, cd/data, and you see the files are being copied, the directories are being copied. So important is this directory should have a repo data directory, because the repo data directory is the repository database, which is mandatory because that is required. So once it is copied, let me see that it is copying the files right now, and let's take a look at ls/data repo data directory. It is copying the packages as of now. You can see that packages folder has reached. So where it is /data. Now what all RPMs are here, we need to temporarily move them to a different location. Let me make a temporary directory, mkdir/root/temp repo, just for the sake of where I want to copy that all the repositories temporarily. Alright, I'm copying them all the files, or rather moving star into this directory root temp repo. Now there should be no file here. There is no file here now. I have removed all the files from my local repositories, yum.repos.d directory. I am working under yum.repos.d. Now I will create my local repository here, vi local.repo, and the files are the section name. You can give any name, local in square bracket. Name of the repository, my local repo. Alright, this is how you create the local repository. And then my local repo, and after that base URL. Base URL is equal to file, because it is file protocol, file : / and /data. This is where your data is, right? Where an enabled is equal to true, and no GPG check. GPG check is equal to 0. So these are the 5 lines, and that's all. A repository is configured, or enabled is equal to 1. Enabled is equal to 1, GPG check is equal to 0, and repository configuration is done. Now you make yum clean or yum clean all, and this will clean all the repositories, all the caches, and now you give the command yum make cache. This will build the cache files. If you list now yum repo list, you will see the list of repositories, only one repository which we have just created, local repository, my local repo, right? So this is what why it cannot find the file repo data. Why? Because the space, you see the warning here, the space is exhausted. That means there was no space left. So because while copying, the space was less and was not able to copy the files. So because of this file is not copied, it is showing this error. If you have sufficient space, the file will be copied and you will not get this warning and this message, and then your repository will work fine. Alright, let me go and remove some files from there, or let's continue in fact. Okay, so make directory, copy the files. After the files are copied, then we created this file. The way I created, I showed you the file, and its section name of the repository, base URL enabled, and now we are good to go. We can use yum command to install the packages. To clean up, you restore the original file, move the backup file from the directory where you copied them to the location, and then definitely you can use the command yum clean all. It will clean the cache and rebuild the cache. Basic yum commands: yum list, yum list grab, yum repo list all, yum info samba. These are basic commands. Let's try them. Info about a package. Let's try these commands. So I have removed my data directory, the contents of the data directory. There is nothing in that. Because of the space problem, I removed that. I removed the local.repo file also, which I created, and now I'm moving back all the files to the directory. etc yum.repos.d. There is no file right now. I'm moving my files back. So mv/root/temp repo and start and /. So I have back restored all my files back. Now we are yum clean all is mandatory, because when you are setting up the repositories, when you are changing repositories, you are updating repositories, when you are creating repositories, it makes sense to use the command yum clean all to clean all the caches. So yum clean all. Now you can give the information about any package. Yum info, let's say samba. So you will get information about the package samba. That is the information only. Yum list, I have demonstrated. Yum list all, I have demonstrated. Yum what provides, I have demonstrated. So I have given demo of many yum commands. Yum repo list, I have demonstrated this also. Installation, we have done that. Yum install samba. Yum update. Yum update is the way you use rpm-f, that is freshen up. Freshen means if it is installed, upgraded. If there is upgrade available. If it is not installed, then don't do anything. So update means only update the installed packages. So it is analogous to rpm-f command. To remove a package, you can remove yum remove samba, or the package name, whatever you want to remove. Yum update, to update all installed packages, you can use yum update. You just want to see what updates are available, you can use yum list updates, or yum check update. If you are not familiar or sure what to install, then you can use what provides, the way I demonstrated, yum what provides, like yum what provides star.repo. So from where these repo files are coming, which package is creating these repo files. So what provides I have demonstrated. It is similar to rpm qf command. Small f, I am talking about small f, qf, query file. The yum what provide list all instances of a package with a file that match with the given name with associated RPM package. It accepts partial file names. For example, yum what provides etc system D returns RPMs associated all files in etc system D. In many cases, problem with yum can be solved with yum clean all command. You simply use clean command, yum clean all, and you are done. This command flushes the current cache of headers, allowing you to synchronize headers with the configured repositories afresh. So this is a good command, yum clean all. Installing a package. When you install the package for the first time and the security integrity is not known, or then you may get this kind of warning. As we noticed, we also got this: importing GPG key, is this okay? Importing the GPG key name from this file, is this okay? You may get this kind of output when you are checking the signature, when GPG check is enabled. Package groups and yum. The yum command can install and remove packages in groups. They are defined into comps server, file ending with compserver.xml file in repo data. To list all the groups available, you can use yum group list. So let's try yum group list and group install and group remove. So we will try group list, group info, and group install. Let's verify the packages in the group. So look at the previous command which I gave. Installed package. I gave the command yum info samba. So look at the information about the package which I gave. So it gives me the complete details of the package which I use. Same way like yum install httpd. So you get information about the packages with yum command, yum info. Coming to the group list now. Yum group list. So it will show you all the possible groups, available groups. So these are all groups. And you can install the groups you can install the packages in group and see the packages minimum available environment group. Environment group means what? They are not individual groups. They are basically made up of different groups, like GNOME desktop. It is not one group, it is made up of other groups. Virtualization host, it is made up of other groups. So environment groups are made up of other groups. Minimum install, compute node, these are base groups, or environment groups. They are made up of other groups. And then available groups, these are the available groups and the base groups. So you can install, like for example, server with GUI or KDE Plasma workspaces. I want to install this group. So copy, and if I want to install, I use yum group install, and I specify the group name. It will install the packages in the group. So you can install the entire group using yum group install command. Alright, yum group install. Same way, yum group info. Let us check the group info. Now this is a repository. There is a dependency problem, error. This package base require MariaDB server and available is MariaDB 5.5. So it is dependency, latest package dependency problem. So you need to uninstall the MariaDB server and then install the latest MariaDB server or the required MariaDB server. That is interesting. So error. Why you are getting this error? If I said that yum will help you in resolving dependencies and it will solve a lot of problems, then why this problem? This problem because a lot of repositories are configured. and the repositories provide conflicting packages. If a package from one repository is installed, so ultimately the package is installed. If you try to install a package which is dependent on the same package but not from this repository, from the other repository, maybe other version, then you will get this kind of error. So we call it as error, package is broken. So you can install broken packages, but that's not actualization. Alright. And if I want to see the information about this, yum group info. So you will get the information about the package, what all packages are optional groups, right? Because this is environment group. So which are mandatory group in this package? Mandatory group. So this group consists of all these packages, all these groups, right? And by the way, if you use yum group list hidden, this word means that there are some package groups which are hidden, which are not listed. So there are some hidden groups. Now you see the list is more. So this will list all the groups. So shortcut, the summary, objective, why I talked about this is that you can install packages in groups. So yum group info, you will see the group information. Yum group list hidden. There are some alternative names of the group used in Kickstart configuration file that you can see with yum group list hidden, which I showed. Group info, group install, yum install individual package. And this is what if you try, this is optional package. Optional package means basically there are some packages which are available in optional package group. Those packages will not be installed automatically. Means with yum group, if you install yum group install remote desktop clients, nothing will be installed, because the packages under this group are all optional. So in such situation, what you have to do is you have to manually install the package. Yum install, for example, Tiger VNC is one of the package in this group. So you can install yum group install Tiger VNC. Removing the group is as simple, yum group remove and the group name. So it will install the group, it will uninstall the group, it will remove the group. Alright, and that's all for this session. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching.